I think it probably started many years ago when I was first pregnant, and the comedic possibilities of everything that seemed to happen just struck me as something that had to be used. And the minute you're pregnant, as I'm sure most couples know, most women know, everybody wants to tell you their stories. So the material was just sort of flooding in. Flatulence happens to just about everybody. The women will bear me out in this one. The undignified things, and having been a sort of self-determining professional person, that all of a sudden you're like a beetle on the floor, you know, and you can't get up and things like that. So that part of it, I think, was several of my friends and myself included. And I also got a lot of stories from midwives. I interviewed a lot of midwives, some of whom taught other midwives, and some of whom had retired, basically because of the one who retired who talked to me was the story that Sheila tells at the top of Act 2, of actually being sued about a stillbirth. And that actually happened to somebody, and she described it to me. I've described it as a comedy about expectation and loss, and it isn't the loss of a baby, it's a loss of an ideal, and it's also, I think, it struck me because at the time when, not when I wrote the play, but when I did some rewriting on it, when we were doing a rehearsed reading prior to getting it on, was that my son had just left home, so I suddenly experienced the other end of what all these women were going through with their pregnancies, was the letting go bit at the other end. And for somebody having to counsel and help women in that position, whilst at the same time she was facing possibly the end of her career, I hope this isn't the end of mine, but facing the end of her career, and also home life without her child. Because they throw you away like hankies, kids, when they leave home, which is right and proper, but nobody tells you about that bit. Like nobody tells you about quite a lot of the giving birth bit. I remember trying to find a title, and we got silly, and we were thinking about comedy films, and obviously, you know, Carry On Up The. And the minute that my friend said that to me, I hit Duff, and that was it. And that was the working title, which seems to have stuck.
It's fantastic. Thank you very much. Cheers.